Welcome to the Loose and Moose podcast.
I'm Luce.
And I'm Moose.
Two unlikely best friends that I guess love the sound of their own voice, so decided to hit record.
Should we start this episode off by saying we will not swear for 45 minutes or you don't say any Gen Z lingo? Okay, Lucy, what's your thing of the week this week?
Like, who teaches you how to be an adult? Because, you know, there's like things that happen and you're like, what?
Oh, it took every part of my being and now I'm not going to not say it. I'm going to say it. I'm
Oh,
like,
no
well,
one's taught you. Is that what you were
Do
gonna
you?
say? Yeah, is that what you were going to say? No, but for real, like, we had this building was in a blackout the other night for 12 hours and I just didn't know what to do because it's firstly they said, oh, the power will be back on at like 9 p.m. and then it got to 9 p.m. and it wasn't. Then they said I'll be back on at 11 and it wasn't. And then it kept pushing it back. So then I was absolutely freaking out. Like what happens if what do adults do in situations like these? Because I need my phone to wake me up in the morning. I have to work early. I won't wake up if my phone doesn't wake me. And if I don't have power to charge my phone, like what are you actually supposed to do in those situations?
Do your 15 alarms have battery backup?
Yeah, exactly. No, they do not. So I didn't know what to do. So I'm just lucky that like my mum lives around the corner and I was able to go stay there and use her power. But it just got me thinking, what are you supposed to do in those situations? And because then I asked my dad, like, what are you supposed to do? How do you know how to be an adult? And he's like, well, maybe you should have an alarm that's just with batteries, like just in case, like exactly what you just said. But I'm like, are you telling me I have to prepare for every single thing that could possibly go wrong at all times? And like, how often is that actually going to happen? So it just seems a bit like stupid, but is that what adults do? Is it?
I don't know whether I can comment, right? Some things we're kind of more adulty than you because I have other little humans that we need to think about at the same time. But I still would be the same as you. I'm like, I'm not having battery powered fucking alarms in my house.
Right?
What?
Yeah, like what would you have done?
I can't say, hey, Google to that.
But then you've got a child that could wake you up early, so you don't need to worry about the whole alarm thing.
Cheat code. Kind of.
So having children just makes you into more of an adult.
100,000%.
I guess you have no
answer,
choice, right? Like they come to you, you're the adult. Like, what are you going to say? I don't know. I'll ask my dad. No, you have to figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah. That is the answer for sure.
Yeah, because I had that, and then also like another thing that if you really want to feel a bit shit about yourself and feel like you're a teenager again, just have a broken washing machine and have to take your washing to your mum's house. Like I'm taking a basket of washing once a week to mum's house, and I'm doing the washing. Like I'm not giving it to her to do, but like it still just makes me feel so pathetic. I'm like I've done something like I'm waiting for a spare part for it to be fixed, but it's been like a month now, and I'm just like. I don't know, it just got me thinking, like, who teaches you how to be an adult? You just figure it out, I guess. And no one really knows, do they?
It's like school has to have a class for like the more basic shit
that
you're actually going to need.
Yeah.
Like not all the stuff that you don't.
Yeah, like
Talking about blackouts, do you remember it was a couple of years ago now in Adelaide where we had that huge one where the whole city was
for like
shut
a few
down?
days? Or
Was it a few days, or at least like we had to
At
go
least a
home,
day?
like it shut down everyone's work in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And then like the whole city was done.
Yeah,
So
I
you were
remember
driving
that.
home with no power and
Yeah.
it wasn't supposed to be on for a while. I think they might have got it done that night or something,
Yeah.
but it wasn't supposed to be.
Do
That
you
was
know what I
wild.
remember that day because it was my day off. And I
Oh.
remember being like so jealous of everyone that was at work because they were just being paid to just sit there because you couldn't do anything because it was in the dark, but you also couldn't go home in case the power came back on.
Yep.
And then I couldn't do anything on my day off because I had no power. So I was just like, I think I remember sitting there in my car, charging my phone, and like reading a book or something, and then just thinking like, I wish I was at work. Missing out on all the fun.
Having that sort of FOMO was similar to, and I mean this not in a bad way, like when COVID was starting to happen here in Australia and they shut down, or we were about to shut down. You're watching the news every 2 seconds and in our group chats it's like, all right, we are or we aren't or whatever, and all of you guys were there because we just had a baby, so I was off.
Yeah, you missed the action.
Yeah, and just like, shutting down the store and not knowing when you're going back would be so
That was
full
so
on.
crazy. We were like, you would never have thought 10 years ago that a global pandemic, like of all the jobs that you could have and what you would keep working and you wouldn't think retail would be one of them.
Yeah.
Like, it's still shocking to me that we stayed open for most of it.
Yep.
And like we became like busier than ever because people need things. Versus like, some people literally just like couldn't go to work because no one's gonna, I don't know. I remember like my physio shut down and stuff. Like, couldn't go get your back cracked, but you could go buy something at a shop. So crazy.
Do you remember, we were actually speaking about this today when we were driving around, just the whole, like, it was only a couple of years ago, but just wearing a mask all the time.
Yeah.
And
it was so normal. Hey.
Yeah.
And well, remember at the start as well when it wasn't normal and it was like, oh my God, I can't get used to this. And then when it finally did get normal and then getting used to not having it again was weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I had to change like my makeup routine to not like affect the mask.
Yep.
And like glasses wearers had to figure something out there. They were selling like special little guards for them so you didn't steam up your glasses.
Yeah. Even for our kids, like they were quite young and them just seeing all of the adults in the world wear that.
Yeah.
And they just went along with it.
And kids didn't wear them, did they? Or
no, we got them a couple in case we were going out and about, but we didn't really go too far with them, like in a public place.
Anyway, we didn't really need to open that whole bag of worms, but whatever. Bag of worms? Can of worms. What's
can
bag of worms? What a bag of worms? It's weird.
That is weird.
Anyway.
Are you going fishing? My thing of the week is it's quite wholesome actually. So I moved stores recently, and you know sometimes we're very spoiled when we move stores, right? It's quite wholesome and not needed, but a mate of ours organised like a cool little going away for myself, and it was very like podcast centric. So just a little shout out to Darren at Flat Cap Productions who made these, and Jeannie at Silent Goat Art, coolest fucking name ever, who designed them. But we got little Loose and Moose emotional shower stubby holders.
Yeah.
Don't know if we're going to show them off nicely onto the camera. I'm going to let you do this in a second.
Nah, that was good. I was watching.
But yeah, so cool. I was supposed to bring them last week, so apologies it's a little bit late, but I brought you one and didn't bring me one, so that was going to be a solo emotional shower. So the next time that Luce needs to have a little emotional shower, it's going to be, be keeping cool in these beautiful little stubby holders. So
yeah, you need to... do you have the actual artwork?
Yeah, I'll chuck it up.
Put it up on the wall because I feel like on the stubby holder it doesn't do the actual artwork justice. Like this is actually a really great drawing.
Yeah, it's such a cool themed thing. So shout out to Jared and Darren from Flat Cap and Jenny from Silent Goat. We actually have a few of these, so maybe we can start hitting up, I don't know, like the coolest little end of episode shout outs and stuff. If anyone wants one, they can hit us up. And, we haven't decided if we're going to put them up for sale or give them out or what we're going to do. But there's a few around. So, hey, do something over and above and you might be able to, be having a beverage with us with one of these cool little things. Pretty awesome, though.
And did they base this artwork on me? Is this how I look when I'm having an emotional
They actually
shower?
got me to send a photo from one of the episodes.
Or is it how you look when you're sick of listening to me? It's so good. It's such a cool thing. I know that mate commissioned this artwork, but I'm still so honoured that someone spent time making this.
So cool. And the card they made was this on a massive thing, and it was kind of like, oh, this is coming, but they're just making them. But very, very, very cool. So shout out to them. But yeah, that's mine.
Do you normally use a stubby holder?
Nah, this sounds really bad now. And I actually don't use stubby holders at all.
Yeah, because I never did either. But then when my dad had a business when I was growing up, and every year for Christmas he would make merch and he would make them. And then mum always uses one, dad always uses one. And then I realized recently, why am I not using one? It's like a functional product that has a purpose. Why do we not just use it?
Yeah.
It's so easy to use.
I feel like it's in the last few years because Lauren does all the time. She's got heaps of Collingwood ones. And then, or until we got Yetis. We're on Yetis now. Oh,
yeah.
That's probably one of the reasons we don't.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I haven't, because it's only I don't know. I've always done it without it. It's like a phone without a phone case or something. It's just, I don't know. But yeah, it definitely makes sense to use one, but I think it feels better not to use one.
Yeah.
A hot day, you want to feel the cold, but then I guess it gets warmer quicker, right? Where if you got these, it stays colder.
I just feel like I don't really have a feeling about holding it at all. But then I drink it and I'm like, oh, I'm glad I'm using this. But before, I just never clicked. I don't know why.
Weird.
Not anymore, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have everything in one of those. My Yeti, whatever. My coffee on the way to work. Loose and Moose, emotional shower, stubby collars.
I think the only one I have is that, and then one of my old dad's old merch ones. Yeah, no. Whyalla Fuel Services.
Yeah.
So random. Like that's if you didn't know what that was, you'd be like, why do you have that on your stubby holder? So weird.
Nice.
What have we got today? I've got a cringe of the week.
Nice. For you cringing?
Yeah, actually kind of.
Fuck yeah,
like
good.
For once, it's not me doing something cringe. It's cringing at someone.
Oh, okay. I wanted the other way. But yeah, sure.
Yeah. You know that story like controversial opinion from one of our very first episodes about how you put your shoes on, whether it's sock, shoe, or sock, shoe.
Did I? Sorry to interrupt. I've been changing it up a bit.
Whoa.
Yeah, for real. And even when I've been doing the kids lately, like, yeah.
You said that in the episode as well, that my parents must have fucked me up by making me do that.
Yeah.
That's
so I did it like this morning when I was, I did it the way you do. And I'm like, oh, okay. Didn't feel right, but I've done it.
Why did it not feel right?
I don't know. I guess I've done it for 38 years the other way.
Yeah, true.
But I just called myself. I'm like, oh, fuck. Do I tell Lucy? Oh, and here we are telling the world. But yeah. Anyway. Felt gross. Won't do it again. Anyway, you were going on?
Anyway, I was having this debate with some of my friends, and then one person, he's my friend, he just shook everybody by saying that he only has one pair of shoes.
Oh.
In the whole entire world, one pair of shoes.
Wow.
And I was like, well, no, like, you mean like one pair of casual shoes, right? Like, you obviously have like your gym shoes, and then you have like your, I don't know, your thongs to go to the beach.
Yeah.
And you have your dress shoes. He's like, no, like, I have one pair of shoes. That's it.
So at all times, he just has one pair. So if that runs out, he'll just get a new one. He just always functions on one pair of shoes.
Yep. So I'm like, so no. So like, you're lying, right? So you're telling me that the pair of shoes you're wearing right now that you just played a gig in, you would go to the gym tomorrow and wear them because he told me that
then
he
go out
goes
for
to
a
the gym.
fancy ass lunch or dinner.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah. And then I'm like, and then what about you going to the beach? You would take them to the beach as well. He's like, yeah. And he's acting like so chill about it.
I want to know what shoes they are, because how do they go with shorts, jeans, dress pants?
That's the other thing as well.
Band clothes.
That's the other thing. I was like, I looked down and I was like, so out of all the shoes in the world, you chose that pair.
Do you remember what they were?
Like the oldest pair of Nike sneakers that you've ever seen.
What color?
Black.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck. Is there like a reason? Like, I don't want to make fun out of him if he did want to like spend all his money on guitar stuff and can't afford shoes.
He's a good friend of mine. Like, I don't want to sound mean. And I said all this to his face. It's just like, it's just really funny. And I do think in our friendship, he has actually since bought a new pair. So now he has maybe two, but like, I was saying, no, I don't think you really have two because I think you did retire your old ones.
Yeah,
but still, I feel like I've influenced him to make baby steps in the right direction. But no, he was saying that his reason is just like, he's like, I'm just not a fashion person. I just don't care.
Isn't it actually like, forget that. I think it's good for your feet to actually have different shoes.
Oh, really?
I remember reading that somewhere, or maybe a podiatrist or something. I sound old. Has said that where it's actually good to have different.
I guess it makes sense.
Different shoes.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, he just said he just doesn't care, and this one pair of shoes does him well, so he's happy. And the other thing was, he said he never wears shoes on stage. Like, he's in a million bands, so he's always doing gigs, but he will go with just socks on.
That's so weird.
I know. So like,
what does he play? Not drums, like guitar or something.
Guitar. Yeah.
Still, though, walking around, like, stages were always filled with like beer and shit.
Yeah.
He's just walking around with his socks being like, oh, that feels so nice on my feet.
Yeah.
My singers spit on the ground. Yeah, perfect. I'll just pick it up with my sock.
He's a bit interesting. Like, I did say that was a bit cooked. I've roasted him a lot.
Yeah,
like,
this is a cringe. I agree. This is Moose approved cringe.
I was telling everyone, I was just like really throwing him under the bus, and I was like, he's only got one pair of shoes. What do you mean?
Do I dare ask how many pairs of shoes you've got?
Do you know what's funny is I definitely have a lot of pairs of shoes, but I don't really wear all of them, which is silly. Like at some point I've thought they're a good pair of shoes, I'm going to buy them, but like day to day I just wear a couple of pairs.
So how many pairs of shoes have you got that you have never worn? Lots.
No, I've got I would have worn them, a couple of times, but they're just not in my
rotation.
I just revert back to the ones I like. But yeah, I don't know. Let's just take a stab in the dark and say I probably have 30 pairs of shoes, and I probably wear 5 of them.
Yeah. Okay.
I should just put more effort into wearing other pairs because, for instance, I love Doc Martens. I wear them pretty much every day of my life, but I have a red pair that I never wear. I wear my black pair all the time. Why don't I just wear a red pair sometimes? It's a bit silly. What about you?
I was going to ask myself the question then. What about you, Moose? How many pairs of shoes do you have?
Good question, Moose.
I have one as well, and that was me that she was talking about. Just kidding.
This guy sounds really cool. I don't get what the issue is about having only one pair of shoes.
Nikes. I got a few.
Yeah, I think I feel like I've seen you wear different ones. I've noticed.
So I have a daily that I wear to work. Well, kind of two pairs that I'll rotate. But I kind of get sucked in to buying similar colorways of the same shoe.
Yeah.
So I've got a shoe that I wear on the daily, but then I like running one. So I'm going to buy different colors so I can keep some better than the rest.
Yeah. Do you are your shoes that you have for running and gym the same as you wear to work? Because you wear sneakers to work, or do you have different variations?
At the moment, they're actually the same, just different colorways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but you wouldn't wear the.
Oh, I don't wear the running ones to work. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I went a little funky with because then I lash out a bit and go a bit crazy in colours. I know my dailies also have rainbow stuff on them, but I went this crazy blue colour for my workout ones.
Well, you may as well, right?
Right?
Just have fun with it.
Yeah.
Hey, do you think that new shoes actually help with that stuff? Because I've remembered sorry, just to have another tangent, but I remembered when I used to play netball and basketball, every single year, I would have worn out my shoes. So we'd go and get fitted for the newest pair of shoes that season. And I would always get Asics because they're the best for your feet. But then I realized as an adult, I don't know, I don't really take any notice to the shoes I wear to the gym. And then I've started trying to get back into fitness, and I've been trying to do 12-3-30, but my legs are getting sore during the 30 minutes. So I thought, hang on. Is there something to all those years of buying good Asics? Do I need to go get some proper running shoes?
You're not wearing those red Doc Martens to the gym, are you?
Can you imagine?
What goes with the Revo Fitness fucking sign?
That would be
it's
funny.
Perfect.
No, I think I was honestly just getting gym shoes that looked kind of cool. But then this cool thing has happened that the old school dad Asics are trendy now. So yeah. So I've ordered some. They haven't arrived yet, but I've ordered some and I'm so excited. They're the Gel Nimbus ones.
They look really cool. I was looking at some today, the new ones.
Yeah. So I think that might help.
I think it definitely will. This is funny, but my last workplace, we hire, it's awesome because we've got people that are studying and doing other stuff, right? And I had someone that's studying to be a podiatrist, and that's when I had a sore heel, and I'm like, oh, fucking how good.
Yeah.
So he opened up my eyes because I was always just buying them for fashion. We stand up for 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
And I went to a podiatrist and they're just it's like you're wearing nothing or thongs. What do you do for work? I'm like, I work in retail and stand up all day. They're like, there's no, of course you've got sore feet. So yeah, they said New Balance, which is what I normally wear, Asics, which I've got on at the moment, and it is so much different.
Yeah.
So much different. And also knowing what your foot is, so then you get the right version of them. Because it's not I'll just go buy Asics. It's going to be all right, cool, is this good for my feet and what I want to do? So I know I sound super old, but I am, and it makes so much difference.
Yeah. So ballpark, how many shoes do you think you have?
I think I'm probably 10 to 15. Yeah, I still got a few basketball shoes and stuff like that. But yeah, couple of each, couple of dressies. And
do you have any me where you don't really wear them in your normal rotation? And I
do. I got a couple of now that I want comfier stuff, I've still got some Jordans and some nicer casual shoes that I don't really wear a lot. I'll wear them every now and then.
But then do you find Dunks and Jordans, are they not comfy? I thought they're comfy.
Not really. I'll wear them like if you're going out somewhere and it's like, I don't know, a function where you're sitting down for a bit, or
Really?
or you just want to show them off and
Jeez,
look a
you
little bit
are
dressier.
My work shoes are Doc Martens, Converse, or Vans.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Well, I do have some Dunks that I thought were cool, and then someone roasted me for having Panda Dunks. They're not cool. Apparently, they're the basic bitch shoe, so I've not worn them since.
Yeah, and that's funny when I moved into dad shoes, even though they're getting cooler, like all I used to have was Adidas NMDs in every colorway that I loved, right?
Yeah.
All the time, because they
Yeah.
look so cool with everything. Well, I thought so.
Yeah.
And my thing, and you'd know this from working together, was always like, breaking the ice. I'd always be complimenting people on shoes and stuff like that. And here's me now like, oh, cool, I got my New Balance 1080s.
Wait, do you have the actual dad New Balance ones?
Well, they're not actual. Well, I'm a dad and I've got New Balance. But no, they're cool. They're the 1080s. It's like the best review shoe of the last forever.
Can you get me a visual of the 1080s right now and put them up on the screen as well?
Yeah. Because
the ones that like are trendy are the ugly ones, like the dad ones.
Yeah. Look at the search. 1080 men's size 11, because I'm looking for new colorways because the old ones are shit. That's what I wear on the daily.
Oh, they're not. They're not like dad ones. Type in like dad New Balances. The ones I'm thinking.
That's my running shoes.
Oh yeah, cool. I like the blue.
What do you say, Dad?
Dad New Balance.
They're just going to be the all like white on white.
Yeah.
And they come with the jeans as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are so trendy right now.
Yeah.
Like I was considering
And
getting
look
them.
who's selling them. Like JD Sports.
Yeah.
Platypus. Like
Culture
everywhere you
Kings and
go
everything. Yeah.
is.
I was considering getting them because I've heard they're good as well, but I got Asics because I just figured like all my years playing basketball and netball, I always wore Asics and they're always so good for my feet, so they must still be really good. And all the TikToks said like New Balance and Asics are the best for your feet.
Yeah.
So
The new Asics look cool. Like I got these. These are my first ever pair of dad shoes, and I got them black on black because I'm like, you can't really see what they are. But the newer ones look heaps
I don't think
better.
they're dad shoes.
But
I think they're
anyway,
just shoes.
It was hard to get them. But yeah, game changer. You wear them to work a whole day and you'll be like, okay, that motherfucker was right.
Should I start wearing my dad Asics?
100%.
I've got to get a separate pair for work then for the gym though.
Yeah. But anyway, it's worth it. Speaking of, so you've got a lot of pairs. What do you reckon the most you have ever spent on a pair of shoes is? Are you like wild, like I'm going to customize all of my stuff, or like what's...
No, but there was a pair of Doc Martens that were like on my wish list for so long, and it's so heartbreaking because I think I need to sell them because I think like after all of that I got them in the wrong size and I can't really wear them. But they're these so the ones I wear are the platform Doc Martens, and they're called the Jadens, but these ones are the Jaden Max. So like the Jadens I think are like double soles. These are like quadruple the sole, so it's just like a big chunky platform.
So you can't walk in them?
No, they're just a bit small. I do because have you ever worn Doc Martens?
No.
Like you have to wear them in. It takes ages because they're like really stiff leather. But when you wear them in, that means they're like the comfortable shoe ever. Yeah. Like it's amazing, but it takes a while, and they kind of cut your feet up. So I think I was trying to push through, and then I think I'm realizing like I'm probably just gonna have to get the size up.
Yeah.
So it's sad. But yeah, the reason they're so expensive is it's the max sole, but also they've got studs on them. So all on the front and the bit on the back is less like studs. So if you want to put it here, or if you want to look it up now, I don't know if you care to look now, but like, yeah, they're called the Jaden Max Stud. And I don't want to say, but like I think they were like $500, I think.
Yeah.
I can't remember. But then also in shoe, you probably got some sneakers that are more than that because people love to spend a lot on sneakers, don't they?
Yeah, I was trying to like think about this. I think basketball shoes would be my biggest priced ones. Like we're joking about the dad shoes. Dad shoes are like $200.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think some of the Kobe's I would have got would be 300-ish. So yeah, nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy.
So you've never been part of the whole sneaker hype where like you enter raffles and try and win the certain colorways?
No.
Pay thousands of dollars.
No. Been around that though, like especially when I was working in the city, like.
Yeah. When I started to
wild.
see everybody wearing these Panda Dunks when they were cool, apparently, I don't know. I just thought they seemed like a cool pair of shoes to have. And like I couldn't understand why I couldn't buy them. I kept going on all these websites and like they were $500, $600, $700 and I was like, I was too scared to. I didn't know who to ask. I was too scared. And then finally, I had like an Instagram friend, and she posted wearing some, and I was like, "Hey, this is so embarrassing, but like, where do I buy them? Why are they so expensive everywhere?" And she's like, "I know it sounds so silly, but you need to enter a raffle to be able to buy these shoes." I was like, "What do you mean?" And she educated me. You got to enter a raffle just to be given the chance to buy them.
Isn't that a marketing dream?
Yeah, and I kept entering and I wasn't winning. So then I eventually ended up paying, I think, like $400 for these Panda Dunks. And then, just to be told a year later they're not cool and I can't wear them anymore. They're cringe, whatever.
They'll come back, surely.
Yeah, I'll keep them. They're like, I thought they were going to be just like another black and white Converse. They'll never go out of style. They're just always going to be like a shoe to have.
Yeah.
They're not like super cool, but they're just fine. But no, apparently they're so cringe. Sorry.
All right, so $500 on shoes. I'm curious now, like, what's the most you've ever spent on any purchase?
I don't know. I don't have like a cool answer like people would say their house or their kids or something.
Is that a cool answer?
I don't know. Is it? I don't know. I feel like I don't have any huge purchases. I've got like some small ones, but maybe far out. Is it my phone? Can't be my phone.
Probably.
My phone is like $2,500.
Yeah. It's quite expensive for a pterodactyl storage.
Yeah, well, because like I won my MacBook. The MacBook before that, my parents got it for me for like my 18th or something. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I think it has to be my phone.
It sounds bad. I was going to say when you're looking around, I feel like you're not like you're more quantity as well because I'm sure like you spend a shit ton of money on vinyl and makeup and like all of that stuff.
So I've educated you before on the Mecca levels, haven't I? So I'm at level 4. I said it wrong on the last episode. I said I'm a beauty aficionado, but that's what I was. And then they created a new level, which is level 4. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a level above the highest level. And it says on it now, I hate that they've got it on there now on the app. It says spend $3,800 to maintain this status before the end of the year. So like if you spend $3,800 every year, you're part of this thing. So if we accumulate all of that, that's a lot. And then all my vinyl here, that's a lot. I think there's like 300 or something. And then they are like minimum $30 each, but like go up to like $100. That's a lot. It just, oh my God, I can't do that math in my head. Can you get the calculator?
300 times what?
Do 300 times 30 just as a minimum. Oh no, I'm scared. But it's still 9,000. You are correct.
Sorry,
so
say that again.
There you go. My record collection is probably the most I've ever spent.
Crazy.
Yeah. What about you? You probably have the sensible answer, like your car or something.
Nah, these days, yes. But mine, like, we're not counting holidays or wedding or all of that sort of shit.
No, that doesn't count.
Then my drum kit, for sure.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Which I was proud of too. Like, I didn't, like, none of my parents were, like, overly, like, they wouldn't buy me that sort of stuff. Like, I got given my first ever drum kit. And then from there I was working, but I took a year off before I moved to Adelaide and bought, like, all of the best shit, knowing that once I moved to Adelaide, I'll be a scummy dude that plays in bands and, wouldn't have any money. So my drum kit was, like, over 10 grand that I saved up and spent.
Is that, like, a lot, or is that just how much they are?
I wouldn't even know anymore, but, like, that was pretty good. Like, like a good kit was always a couple of grand, but I went, like, all out and got, like, all of this shit that, like, in theory I didn't even use half of it. Like, it was like when you see like those massive metal drums and there's, like, a million toms and every cymbal in the entire universe, but then you're going to play at the underground and you're like, you're not going to fit that, so you just need 3 of them and a few of them. But I've still got, like, cymbals have gone and come, but I've still got that kit. Like, I didn't get rid of any of that, knowing that at some point I'll have a midlife crisis and I'll have, like, an amazing drum kit that is still amazing.
Or you want to be in a really cool metal band that your best friend's
Hallucinate
starting.
needs a drummer.
Hallucinate.
Yeah. So
Again,
anyway,
put a song in that you've written for us.
Yeah, that's a lot of people hit me up about that. If I did,
Wait, did you? Where did that actually come from?
I can't tell you. But yeah, that would be mine. Drums.
Good answer. That's pretty cool. So with your big drum purchase, do you remember? Did you have like a strategy of how you saved for it? Because there wouldn't have been Afterpay or anything back then. I'm guessing. I'm guessing you didn't put on a credit card or anything and you saved the money.
Yeah, it was pretty wholesome. It was like legit savings. Lucky at the time though. So finished year 12, stayed in Mount Gambier and was still living with parents.
Yeah.
So missed those days of not paying real life stuff and literally just worked my ass off. We're working in a timber mill. Could you imagine me working like 12-hour days, like actual doing hard labor? What
did you do in a timber mill?
Like, it's hard to explain, but like wood would come across and you kind of like putting it in a space and then it goes in and like gets glued together and makes these pieces of wood. And
So
you're just like on a production line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what you see in the movies where they're just like putting things
100%. Yeah.
For 12 hours a day doing the exact same thing over and over.
I don't think it was, I embellished a little bit, but
it
could be up to 12 hours. And since you were earning money, like they'd always be like, oh, do you want to stay another 3 hours? And you sort of like, if you're doing the day shift, you do half of the Arvo shift or same thing, but it'd be like days, Arvos and nights, just rotating.
And with things like that, I think I've heard before that they don't care about like overtime and stuff.
Yeah,
so
they'll just pay.
They'll just let you do it.
100%.
I've always wanted to have that as an opportunity. Like if you want to work 80 hours a week and get the overtime, you can do it. But I never had a job that did that.
So I literally just did that for the whole time. And then like there was no drum stores like in the Mount, obviously, that had that sort of stuff that I wanted to get. So I was like, we were joking about online shopping before, but literally like I had a booklet for the place that was like Sydney based and it was just custom everything. Like just choose, like literally for the 6 months I was just choosing the thing. And then when I got to the time where I'm actually like making that call, I think they would have been like, the fuck is this? Like this dude just pick calling from Mount Gambier and ordering like $10,000 worth of shit.
You made a phone call?
Yeah.
Aww.
And then it got like delivered, back to the Mount. Like I'd already moved to Adelaide and then came home. And one time I came home, it was like, I just had like all of these goodies like taking up the whole lounge room of mum's thing. And again, like a crazy parent story, like I just set it up then and started playing in her fucking lounge room in Mount Gambier.
That's cute.
Who does that?
I don't know why I'm getting like a vision of you making that phone call and in my vision you're like your voice hasn't dropped yet and you're all nervous and you're like, hi, I want to order a drum kit.
Yeah, they go to the kid page. I'm like, no. The grown-up one, please.
Like I know that wouldn't have been the case, but I don't know why in my head that's how it is. Sometimes I think I have undiagnosed ADHD because a lot of like spending habits they talk about like that's like a symptom of it, and then I have a lot of other symptoms of it as well. But like sometimes I just feel like I am legitimately trying so hard, but I am unable to save money because something always happens, or like, whoops, I've just spent more money. Like I don't know, it's like it feels
whoops,
like it like legitimately feels like that sometimes. Like it's not, I'm not in control of it. So like I'm definitely trying and I've gotten better, but I honestly think sometimes I need to go to like a therapist or a counselor or something to help because I just feel like I'm not capable of helping myself. But then I'm also trying to get out of that language of like, I'm just not good with money, because if you say that, then you'll believe it. Yeah. So I'm trying to say like,
I'm fucking shithouse with money.
No, I'm trying to say like it's a, it's an error. It's a, what am I trying to say? It's like a flaw of mine that I am working on actively that I will overcome. I just don't know when.
I'm intrigued. Like, I guess I don't really know this about you when you were younger. What was your like upbringing? Like, I know we've sort of talked about early jobs and stuff like that, but were you in a household where like you had to go and earn your money to buy stuff, or were like you given a lot when you were sort of like teenagers and stuff? Like what was your I'd love to know. First jobs, do you remember your first sort of purchases when you were earning your own money? If you did that.
I think it's really hard because I do think I did grow up with privilege. Like my dad owned a successful business and my mum had a good job as well. And so I do think it's not that I got everything I wanted, but like I don't think I ever really asked for much. because I feel like I already had it. Like I do remember it being a thing where like every school holidays we would usually go to Melbourne because Mum has family in Melbourne, and then we would do shopping there. So like day to day during like the school term, I would never need to go ask for clothes because I had them.
Yep.
Or like I would always have heaps of toys and stuff. Like, so I don't feel like I'm one of those kids that asked for something and would always get it, but then I was privileged in having a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that plays into it. Like I'm bad with money because I was never like taught how to be good. I don't know. Because I got a job. I think I started when I was like 12, 13, 14. I would just like work for my dad. Like for his business, he like used to pay me to fold up and envelope all his like statements that he would send out to all his clients. Yep. So that was just like pocket money, I guess. But then my first real job was, I think I was 15, year 10. It was for like a pub in Whyalla. I was like a
Westies.
No, yeah. Sundowner, actually.
Ooh.
Named after Liv and Jared's band.
Is that legit where they got the name from?
Nah. Yeah, great metal band from Adelaide. If you need a new recommendation, go listen
Jared's
to
been kicked out of that too if you hadn't
I still
Should we keep that in there? No, I mean nice to him with the
Livy's band.
Jared needs an emotional shower to talk about Sundowner.
Anyway, yeah, so I used to, my job was just, I was 15, so I couldn't like take drink orders or anything. So then they didn't let me take people's orders for food. So all I was doing was collecting their dirty dishes and taking them back to the kitchen.
Yeah.
And that was only like a casual shift here and there. Like it was not like, it was like once a week basically. And then on school holidays, it was a bit more.
Do you remember those times? Like, because you took me straight back then. Like, I remember getting like, not checks, but the first pays doing those sort of ones. And it was like, you know, the 70 and 80 bucks and stuff. And you're like, I'm so loaded right
now.
80 bucks.
Isn't that funny?
So good. And you would work your ass off probably, for...
Yeah. And I remember getting a physical paycheck. Like you'd go to the little filing cabinet and find your name.
Yeah. So good. Yeah, go bank it, literally.
Yeah.
Wild. Anyway, sorry.
Are we just listing all of our jobs we've ever had?
Yeah.
Okay, so I had that job, and then when I first finished school, I worked for my dad like full time, actually in the office, and on the counter and stuff. So that was my first experience with like proper work, but it's still for my dad. So I don't know if that like really counts. Actually, no, it definitely counts. My dad was like a really mean boss. Like he like has a short temper and like would yell at me a lot.
No, nothing.
Oh.
Sorry.
I was like, oh my God, are we not filming? Are we not recording?
No. I'm just...
No. Yeah, like I feel like Dad would actually yell at me a lot, so it was stressful, like more than an actual boss would. Like I don't think he yelled at his employees, like he would yell at me. But yeah, so I had that, and then I think I did that to save a bit of money before uni, and then came to Adelaide to go to uni, and I feel like it was kind of hard to get a job when I first moved here because I didn't have a car in Adelaide, and I lived at like a uni boarding college thing, and then I don't know, just I would put my resume in a lot of places and it was kind of hard, but I eventually got a job at Cotton On, and then did that for a bit, and then then I got a job at maybe like a year later at Dotty because I thought that Dotty was a cool store to work in, fashion girly. And then from there I went and worked at Lorna Jane in my fitness era, which cringe. Lorna Jane is cancelled in my eyes. They were not great. Bit toxic. And then I worked at Coles for a bit because I was at uni and I wanted a job just around the corner.
What did you do at Coles?
I was doing, it was like when they very first introduced like click and collect shopping. So I was like picking everyone's orders.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so all I would do was walk around with a trolley and shop for people. Personal shopper was my title. Oh, and before that, when I worked at Cotton On, I also worked at Woolworths doing night fill. I had 2 jobs at once to save money. And then, so Coles, and then straight to where we work now, which...
Where's that?
We're going to keep where we work a secret.
Ah, cool. Yeah.
I think that's everywhere I've worked.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you've hustled.
Yeah. What about you?
So started the same. So kitchen hand, at a couple of places, which is where I got my nickname. How cool. And I think like earning, like it was so good working as kitchen hand. Like it sucked, but like all your rest of the mates on a Friday night would be going out and I'm like, I'm going to still do that, but I'm going to go to work for 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
And you learn so much life skills because like, you know, you wouldn't be able to get away with it these days, but what you're sort of seeing and doing and stuff like that. So that was cool.
Also, did you ever find sometimes it was good to have an excuse not to go out? Because going out is fun, especially when you're young, but like you don't have to do it every single weekend. So sometimes when I was doing night fuel, I was like happy.
Yeah. Or if you have to work on a Sunday morning, like, you know, it's 10 o'clock, I'm going home now.
Yeah. Although, sorry to cut you off again, but like when I worked at Dotty, oh my God, that was my party girl era. Every single Sunday I would work all day. Every single Saturday night I would go to Jive and Super Mild, like up the west end of Hindley Street, across the road from each other. If you know, you know. You know? Did you ever go? Yeah. And I would close Super Mild every single weekend. So I would be there till 5 a.m. every single weekend and then just go to work the next day and I was fine.
That's fucked.
I don't know how I did that. Anyway, sorry, I'll let you continue.
When you were saying that, I'm like, nothing as late as that. But I remember like very early on in working and drinking days, definitely wouldn't have been anywhere near 18. The Mount Gambier show was on and we played the show. I think I worked, then we went and played. My band was playing at the show, and then I don't know, we were on some like ridiculous percent Woodstocks or something. And then I was that bad on Sunday that Dad had to call in sick for me at one of my kitchen head jobs. And like when you were saying that, then I'm like, that just reminded me of like one of the worst moments ever. So sorry if any of my bosses were listening from there.
What do you mean your dad had to do it for you?
I just couldn't function, couldn't do anything. It was just like I was just hit for 6. It was such a bad time. And yeah, Dad had to call up and just, I don't know what he did. So shout out to Dad if you're listening.
That's hilarious.
Love that. And then, so did that for ages, for years. And then at the same time I was doing some drum teaching, which was huge. So I did that at like the end of year 12, going into my year off. And then in my year off, as I said, working in the mill down in the Mount and drum teaching at the same time. So that was cool. And then when I moved here, same as you, like I didn't really try as hard as you to get jobs here. I was kind of studying Centrelink and then doing a bit of drum teaching, but then doing bands and stuff. It just made it hard to do stuff really. And then from, got into the job we do now sort of casually as doing all my other stuff. And then here we are 16 years later.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
So a bit of a mixture of everything, but I guess it's always been enjoying being with other people. Yeah, I mean, whether it's kitchen hand, teaching, kids how to play drums, or then, working in retail, like it's always been customers and people, which is cool.
Yeah, true.
But same as you, I started at a very similar age. Like I was sort of taught, like, especially drums and cars and all this other stuff. I'm like, if you want to, like, my parents, they split up and they didn't both have a lot of money. So it's not like I'm going to have that. So it's kind of good at a young age to be like, well, if I want that, I'm going to have to go work for it.
Yeah.
Which was cool. So yeah, crazy.
Do you have any, I don't know, embarrassing or funny work stories from like when you were first learning how to work or?
I actually have a really good one from recently. Like really recently. Like within the last 6 months.
Okay.
I think I would have told you, but none of the listeners at home were listening. There's probably a few people that will be listening to this now that were there for this. But so I just said I've been at our job for 16 years, right? I've been around. I've been at this store that this happened 3 different stints. So that shows how long I've done that. But what we do, before we open, we have like a little morning meeting, right? And I normally get up and about for these. You sort of say peacocking the rest.
Peacocking.
And I very much enjoy having a chat and inspiring the team and having a lot of fun and generally taking the piss out of myself because I just want to, have a bit of fun. Anyway, new store, just got back there. It was the first week back and I was just, I don't know, taking everyone to a certain spot in the store. And wasn't paying a hell of a lot of attention, probably pulling out one or two really funny jokes. And in the moment, a few people would have laughed and I would have been sitting there like, oh, fuck, here we go. Literally walked into like this huge stand in the middle of the floor.
That's right. In front of everyone as well.
In front of everyone. There may, I don't know if I'll be able to put footage up here, depending
I don't think you can.
if you can see things or not. Anyway,
recreate it.
Yeah, it was so embarrassing though because like that's like fun and that's not that full on. But if you were there, like I literally hit it and like it started to fall over and then I've like grabbed it and it's fucking heavy.
Yeah.
Like, it's a 4-way full of stock. And then I'm also like embarrassed. It's heavy. It's falling over. And I'm just like, what's going on? And everyone's kind of like just stuck, like looking at me. Like no one was really close enough to save me. So I was just like, I ended up stopping it. But yeah, I ended up like, yeah, I just saw her arm for ages. And like, it was like, we made fun of it, but it was like super fucking embarrassing. In a typical Moose way, but yeah.
I wish I was there.
Yeah, I wish you were as well. It would have been great. But
did people laugh, or because the like when I fell off the chair at your house and you were just worried, like it's worse when they don't laugh.
I think it was like you at my house, like as in like people thought it was funny at the start, but then when they would have been like, I'm too far away to help, and it kind of looks like he's in pain.
Oh.
But it was heaps funny, and you know, then we made, you know, fun out of it every other morning meeting we did, and just didn't do it in that same spot, and went and got the footage and put it onto my phone, and I've always got it there. If I get too high, I don't want to like peg myself down.
Just let it humble you.
It's always been worse. Yeah, what about I got one more, but I'm intrigued to see if what yours would be.
I will share, but I just wanted to quickly share that reminds me, like the morning meeting embarrassment. I was not there for this, but I wish I was. Apparently one of our mutual friends years ago like was running late, so she was like kind of running to the meeting, and she like was literally like doing a little jog and then fell over, and she had her lunch in a container and apparently like fell, and the lunch like splattered everywhere, and then apparently she was also wearing a dress and the dress like flew up like over everything, so her whole underwear, everything was out on display, her lunch was everywhere, and everyone was just like in shock because she just did it in front of everybody.
Is this our listener from overseas now?
Yeah. Did you just know it was her? Like,
I just remember.
Oh, she told you, yeah.
Yeah, that she said that, because I'm like, I was waiting for you to be like, yeah, you were in that meeting, you were running it. I'm like, no, but I remember being close to this story.
Yeah.
Shout out to said person. I'm sure you're listening and we miss you.
I miss her, yeah. She had a lot of funny stories like that.
She's wild. She was so great.
And it's funny because like I feel like she would tell me all these stories, but I'd never witnessed any. Yeah. Like, oh, I'm so embarrassing. And I was like, oh, I think you're really cool.
Yeah. But yeah, she's great. Absolutely great. Yeah, sorry. I'm sure you've got a few. Have you got, maybe we'll just tame it down to one or two you would like to share that you haven't already shared? Or?
Yeah, surely.
Surely. You're like, we'll quickly make one up.
I just go through the Rolodex. Is the Rolodex the right word? No. Hang on. I just go through the filing cabinet because there's so many embarrassing stories up here. I just don't know what I could choose from. Okay. So think about any retail store on a really busy Saturday, and there's just people everywhere, like really, really busy. And you see a salesperson in the middle of like kind of like an open space demonstrating a product to someone. And the product is a chair. And I was showing the people around me. It was like a family of 4, but then obviously there's heaps of other people watching. I was showing them how it like fully reclines to be like flat. And then I was bending over to show them this, and then accidentally flicked the thing that made it like fully like unrecline. So then the back of the chair just smacked me in the face. And like it was already embarrassing enough because the family was like, oh no, are you okay? And then I like kind of stood up, and then it was like it was a leather chair, so there was like a full imprint of my makeup all on the chair. Like you could just see my face.
And it was the display model you had left.
Yeah. And yeah, that was kind of embarrassing.
Have we got footage that will be going up for the YouTube viewers?
I wish. Again, we could recreate it.
Okay. Yeah. Jesus. Okay.
I don't know if it sounds as funny or if you had to be there, but definitely embarrassing.
That's pretty fucking
I
funny.
have cringe attacks about that all the time. Like, oh, did I really do that in front of all those people?
Oh man. Did they buy the chair?
I don't even remember.
I slipped into a hole and ran away.
Would you buy anything from me? I'm a great salesperson.
Surely.
Okay, so something popped into my head before when we were talking about silly purchases. the thing is, you're going to have to wait here and close your eyes for like about 5 minutes. It's going to take me about 5 minutes to prepare it. Do you have 5 minutes?
I got 5 minutes.
Okay. Are you sure?
And I'll be able to edit something really cool. So it's a good editing challenge at the same time. All right, bring it.
Okay.
5 minutes later.
1000% closed. All right, so for all the audio listeners, I'm sitting on our normal chairs, not blindfolded, but covering my eyes as if they're a blindfold after a 5-minute intermission to be unveiled to the most ridiculous purchase of all time. Is that what's happening?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. That is what's happening. I'm almost ready.
Have you got a mic or you need me to share mine?
I do have a mic. I'm just really hoping it's working. Okay, so this is the most recent ridiculous purchase I've made. So we'll count you down from 3 and then you can have a look. All right, you ready? 3, 2, 1.
What the fuck? I'm trying to figure out, like, all right, because there's lights around the eyes and teeth. I'm like, is it a teeth thing? Is it a face thing? It's a face thing. What are we talking here? Omni Lux content. Okay, so what I'm looking at for everyone that is not on YouTube is a white mask with some cool little green things around it with a remote control, and it's strapped around Lucy's head. There's also then like infrared, like red outlining eyes, nose, and mouth. It looks hell creepy. And what does it do?
I'm going to take it off while we actually talk about it. Hang on. Okay, so the reason that it took me 5 minutes was because I had to take my makeup off to put that on. You can't put it on with makeup on. Anyway, so pod reveal for the visual watchers. I don't have makeup on. But so this is my newest purchase. It only arrived today, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I haven't even properly used it. But it's the Omni Lux Contour LED face mask. So I've been seeing these forever from different brands. Apparently, LED red light is really good for your skin. Increases collagen production, helps with skin tone, making you look more even and glowy and beautiful. And there's so many like before and afters. So I've been thinking about it for so long and I finally did it.
Do we ask how much it was?
Well, I actually have some screenshots that I wanted you to read for your interpretation of the girl math behind buying this, because I think it's quite funny. Okay. Like, I knew it was a bit ridiculous as I was reading these texts and writing them, but like, any excuse.
Hey. Okay.
So hang on, let me get them.
So how long do you have to wear it for?
Just 10 minutes a day.
Oh,
well,
okay.
you don't have to do it every day, but like
that's what
just 10 minutes at a time.
Okay.
So I messaged Nicole and I said, can you help me with some girl math? I'm trying so hard not to be unhinged. She says, yes, I can. I'll try. I said, I have been really looking at content about those masks ever since we spoke about it and I can't stop. I thought maybe I could allow myself to save for it rather than just buying it on a whim because I should stop being so unhinged. But I keep saying I should buy it now because it might make me less depressed. Haha, it's so pathetic, but it's all I keep thinking about. And I think I've decided on the Omni Lux one. I want the face and the neck one. And anyway, I decided it would be good to save for it, but now I've just seen an ad for the Afterpay Day sale. So I'm wondering if I need to buy it now. And I sent her a screenshot and it's the sale price. And then she said, hang on, is that the sale price or is that the free gift? I say, yeah, it's the Afterpay sale. So it's normally $605, but it's on sale for $460 and you get a free gift. And then she replied, oh, okay, $145 off. That's pretty good. And I'm like, yeah, it looks like everywhere is matching that price. They all have the same discount. But then maybe I could get a better discount at another time. Or I could just save for it like a normal person. Then she writes, well, if you got the face mask, it would only be $115 a fortnight. That's kind of like forced saving. I was like, yeah, that's how I'm justifying it, lol. The final punchline was something like, I think you need to ask people like Moose about this because I'm going to justify any purchase you ask me about. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly why I'm not asking him. So what's your thought about hearing the girl math behind that purchase?
Well, it sounds very similar to what Lauren would do for a lot of things. Or the only thing that she does slightly different is like I would have like a nice bottle of wine or something waiting for me before this purchase. So like, I got you this, honey. And anyway, I don't hear that part. It's just done. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, perfect. But that's ridiculous. And that's, yeah.
So you're not convinced that I needed that mask?
No.
Really?
Because you won't use it.
I won't use it? Why not?
I think that's the thing with all of these things. You
what
won't
would
do it
be
$10
so
a
hard
day.
about using this every night?
Nothing. But that's the thing. It would like, we all buy shit like this and we just don't do it, right?
Well, maybe if you see results, you would keep doing it.
My thing of the week in 2 weeks, I'll set a reminder and you can let me know how many times in 14 days you've done it.
And I'm not going to wear makeup that episode and everyone's going to be like, whoa, look at her skin.
Yep.
This is me before. And then we can insert an after.
Done.
Everyone now says, I don't look 32. They're going to be like, oh my God, you look 19.
Or it does the opposite and fucks you up. Why would you? Anyway, good work, Omnilux. You've sucked another purchaser in.
This is what you get for saying that we're about the same age. If you think we look the same age, I need this.
You're cooked.
Anyway, it's my new baby. I have not actually used it until like literally was putting it on for you. Yeah.
Well, I guess they should probably let us know their ridiculous purchases of recent as well.
Yeah, that's a
if
perfect
you
way
got
to
any
end
girl
this.
or boy math behind them.
Yes. Tell us your most ridiculous purchases of late and the math behind it, the justification behind it.
Wild. Anyway,
Then
I guess
Moose
we
can
shouldn't
give
hold
you-
you up so you can hang out with the old mate for 10 minutes.
Yeah, we'll do this. And just know that, yeah, if you can do some really good girl math or boy math, Moose can give you this disappointed look that he's giving me right now. It's a really great feeling.
Crazy. Anyway, have a beautiful week.
Bye.